Hello out there in TV land.
Writing all those man-hating books like Waiting to Exhale, I'm gonna write a book. It's called Breathe, bitch.
Oh, man. Oh my God, corny, lame, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. I'm throwing tomatoes.
I can't believe I'm putting myself through this again.
Damn.
But today I've decided to step back into the black movie universe once more and put some of the men from my favorite black movies on the tier list. Yes, as I've stated countless times, I do consider myself to be a finologist. I gave ICDC college the best years of my life. I'm very proud of my degree.
I'm so ICDC. College.
But sadly, this will have nothing to do with physical appearance. It will solely be based on how each man conducted themselves in the movie or movies they appeared in. I plan to keep things very professional.
Stop the cap.
Or at least I would try to. This tier list will consist of 6 categories. Category 1.
That's a black king right there.
Nobody's perfect, but the men in this category gotta be close to it. Category 2.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
This category is for the men who I believe are good, but they have a few issues that could be improved. Category 3.
Look at the material.
This category is for the men who I believe have the potential to be good, but they have more than a few issues and more than just a little bit needs to be improved. Otherwise, he probably could have been something. Category 4.
And that's what you're gonna settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
This category is for the men who probably should be left alone, but I'ma stick beside them. Category 5.
Run, bitch! Run!
The title speaks for itself. And last but not least, category 6.
Jail. Jail.
This category is for the men who don't deserve to live among civilization. Let's get into it. But first, before we really get into anything, I have to note the universes that I've already traveled to. The Best Man, Poetic Justice, Love and Basketball, Love Jones, and Disappearing Acts. These were the results, and even though I mentally suffer in all of these universes, I came to the realization that my work isn't fully done. I need to revisit 2 men before I get into the next group. First, we'll be traveling back to the Best Man universe. We're going to revisit Quentin.
God did not intend for us to be with just one person. If he had, he wouldn't have given us all this sperm.
Oh!
Now, the first time around, I'll admit that Quinn caught a stray based on how I was feeling about his homeboys Lance and Harper. I was fighting for my sanity inside of the Best Man universe, so any man that said or did one thing wrong, it was curtains for him. But someone made a good point in the comment section of my last tier list video about Quentin that made me look at his character a little different. Yes, Quentin didn't believe in monogamy and he had some questionable views, but at the end of the day, at least he wasn't going around playing with anyone's heart. I've always found this saying to be dumb as hell, but at least he wasn't trying to have his cake and eat it too. He wasn't in a whole relationship but still trying to finish what he started with one of his best friends like Harper, and he wasn't like Lance, who went after the most innocent girl he could find in college and then proceeded to take her on down up and through there until he was ready for marriage.
Lord Jesus.
So when some of the girls told me that I may have placed Quentin in a spot that he didn't rightfully deserve, I heard them loud and clear. And me being the professional that I am, I decided to scan through the show to see just how him and Shelby ended up together, because after a long life of running the streets, that's who Quentin decided to settle down with. Before my eyes, I witnessed Shelby giving him a lap dance and kissing him at his bachelor's party. Now, before I proceed with what I'm about to say, I want y'all to understand that I do get Quentin better as a character now. I don't think he was as terrible as Harper and Lance anymore. I realized that the way he carried himself is how all men who know they have no desire to settle down until they're good and ready should carry themselves. Don't promise anyone the world when you know damn well you still want to be all up in it. I do in some way respect him for that. So for a while, I heavily considered moving Quentin to look at the material, but it's like I was fighting against myself because that would be me saying I believe he had potential, and I don't.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
I don't know how old their characters were supposed to be for sure, but when the first movie came out, they were long out of college and Terrence Howard was about 29 or 30, depending on when they filmed. That means Quinn was about 30, feeling like monogamy was unnatural and feeling like God didn't intend for men to be with just one woman.
Y'all know as well as I do, ain't nothing better than some pussy except some new pussy.
Well, you got a point there, dog.
Quentin still had that same mindset in the second movie, and by the time the show came out, Terrence Howard was 50-something, so I'm going to assume that Quentin was too. That means that Homeboy held on to those views about women and relationships for about 2 decades, which means he was a hoe for about 2 decades before he decided to settle down at 50. Now, listen to me when I say this. I'm not saying that 50 is too old to settle down or too old to find love again or for the first time. You could start your whole life over at 50. We're talking about a man who thought monogamy was unnatural for decades. Then he randomly decided to settle down with Shelby because he realized she got on his nerves so much because he was in love with her.
I need this even though I can't stand it. I can't stand to live without you.
Sorry, that doesn't move me. Just like Lance being faithful to Mia once they got married doesn't redeem him for me, you're not getting a redemption arc for being a reformed hoe at 50. Quentin earned his spot and I have to keep him there. Run bitch run isn't just for cheaters, it's for all men I feel like women should run from. If you think Quentin settling down at 50 is something to be given a cookie for, that's you. But
No, sir. Not me.
being the professional that I am, I had to make sure that he deserved his spot. And he did. Then lastly, we'll be traveling back to the Poetic Justice universe. We're going to revisit Lucky.
What's your name?
Lucky.
I pride myself on being a professional, but where Lucky got placed on the tier list last time was definitely a moment where I lacked professionalism. I'm guilty of allowing the fanologist in me to overpower the logical woman with sense. I knew where Lucky belonged, but I just couldn't allow myself to put Tupac's mug in the run bitch run category. As a fanologist that goes against everything I believe in, I still can't do it. So since this category was quite literally invented for any man that I may get a little biased behind, Lucky gets dropped to I'ma stick beside him. Lucky, but that's Tupac's mug hanging in the balance. I would get my fanology degree snatched for playing with it, so I have to stick beside him. Now, let's really get into it, child. First, we'll be traveling to the Soul Food universe. We have Liam.
You got in trouble again?
No. Got fired because I lied on my application about being convicted.
Where the hood niggas at? Where's the hood niggas at? I'm looking for the hood niggas. Come on.
Before I proceed, DJ, please play Can't Leave Him Alone by Sierra, because I know that's exactly how Bird felt about that man. What they had going on was so ghetto. Ooh, child, the wedding. Not even 10 minutes after saying their vows in front of the Lord did they allow the devil to take hold. Liam, still in his suit and tie, bumping and grinding with his ex on the dance floor. Bird, still in her wedding dress, allowing her fine-ass ex to slap money in her bosom. G-H-E-T-T-O. Now, if I was making this personal and this was based on what I believe I would go for, just based off that, Liam would already be in the jail category along with most, if not all, of the men on this list. So when I go into these universes, I try to look outside of myself and look at things from a different perspective. So while what happened at the wedding is definitely noted, it won't determine where Liam ends up on the tier list. And as crazy as it sounds, for some reason I've never hated him for what occurred at the wedding. I feel like both him and Bird were on some bullshit that night, so they balanced each other out. I can look at his character beyond that. One good quality about Liam besides his looks was he had an actual desire to work. He was an ex-con facing adversity, but he was still trying.
And I'm a quick learner. I can do the work.
Like I said, we'll call you.
That basically was his character, a trying ass nigga, and I can commend a man for trying. And if I were to leave it here, Liam would probably be higher up on the tier list, but we have the moment when he found out Bird went to her ex to help him get a job. Now first, let me say, I understand why he was mad, and he had every right to be. Shit, I'm still wondering to this day what Bird was whispering in that man's ear for him to be ready and willing to give her husband a job.
I would like to see it.
But while I fully understand Liam's reaction, I don't like it. Grabbing, yelling, pushing, shoving, can't do it. I understand that emotions were flying. I'm never going for any physical activity. If no one is causing a threat to your life and putting their hands on you, you keep your hands at your sides at all times. I tried giving Liam the benefit of the doubt, But at the end of the day, Liam was a hood nigga that went to jail for selling drugs and was still carrying a gun around. Those type of men may be fun to read about. Lord knows my Kendall stays in the hood, but I would recommend that you run, bitch, run. Next we have Samuel. I want to say Samuel, but the little boy was saying Samuel, and that's how it's spelled. Samuel, whatever.
I know you like the finer things in life, and I know your man can't afford to buy you shit like that.
Bird's trick. He was her trick, right? Watching this movie as a child, which I had absolutely no business doing, but no one ever cared about anything I was watching, I thought he was her pimp. But no, I'm pretty sure he was just willing to spend a bag on Bird as long as she was willing to do a little something.
But what's in this for me?
I think he was just giving her money and gifts for favors, if you know what I mean. But Samuel showed up in this movie just to be mischievous and fine. He thrived off negativity.
I thrive off negativity. Anything negative, I'm for it.
There was nothing but pure joy in his eyes as he told Liam about his connections to Bird.
I used to call her back in the day, since she got that body shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle, huh?
Samuel was fine. Yes, indeed he was, but
We must stay focused, brothers. We must.
he's always rubbed me the wrong way. Some about him, I don't trust him. Run, bitch, run. Next up, we have Kenny.
You just look beautiful.
This is about to make me the biggest hypocrite ever. This is about to go against everything I've ever stood for and everything I've ever said. I know where y'all probably think Kenny deserves to be, but oh God, I'm about to take up for this man.
In your honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry.
Now, Kenny was Maxine's husband for 25 years, I believe. I don't know where I'm getting 25 from, but I feel like that little boy said it somewhere in his narration. Why they would even have a child narrating this ghetto-ass movie is the real question, but that's neither here nor there. Anywho, Kenny was Maxine's husband, but how him and Maxine ended up together was foul. Maxine played snatches with her own sister. Yes, Kenny was originally Terry's man back in the day.
I always thought that maybe if you and I had gotten married, life would be different.
What Maxine and Kenny did to Terry was disgusting, revolting, repulsive, with Maxine being the worst out of the two because Terry was her flesh and blood. I don't condone what they did at all. It's something I would never do and probably would never forgive any of my sisters for if they did. But, oh Lord, why is there a but? But I believe Terry was just Dame Kenny and they didn't have a serious or sexual relationship. They were all still young enough that Maxine had to tag along as a chaperone because that's how her and Kenny ended up falling in love with each other.
Back when Terry and my pops were going out, Big Mama always had moms tag along.
Again, I don't condone this behavior at all. This is not me.
I don't know nothing about that lifestyle, whatever y'all got going on, because that's not me.
Terry was the victim. Half of the plot of Soul Food is trying to make Terry seem like the bad guy, and she wasn't. I wholeheartedly believe that. I'm on Terry's side, but, oh Lord, there's that but again.
To my mother, I'm sorry, 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 sorry.
But I believe Kenny was a good man to Maxine, and I can't see him sitting beside somebody like Lance. And you may be wondering, how can I find Kenny redeemable and not Lance, who most likely married Mia and never cheated on her again? The key word being again. Plus, I truthfully believe Kenny was just a young and dumb dude who fell in love with the sister of a girl he was dating, while Lance, on the other hand, was a full-grown, college-educated man who cheated repeatedly on the girl he had been with since college until they got married, all the while thinking he just had her so wrapped around his finger that she would never cheat on him. I can't stand Lance. I can tolerate Kenny. Oh God, I'ma stick beside him.
To the victim, I'm sorry, 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 sorry.
Last we have Miles.
I took $5,000 out. I used it as down payment for studio time.
Well, since Miles' character existing is the sole reason why we got I Care About You by Milestone, and I love that song so freaking much. Man, I just gotta say, that's a black king right there.
Bitch, you out of order.
No, let me be serious. Miles. When it comes to Miles, let's not even waste time being around the bush. What's the point of trying to explain what type of man he presented himself as? Because once he decided to the family, all that went out the window.
The family? I love the family in my house. You know what? The family my husband.
Cheating is already crazy, but cheating with somebody's family member? Oh, that's just downright despicable, sinister, insidious. Again, once I watched Soul Food as an adult and with some sense, I noticed that the whole movie is spent trying to make Terry look like the bad guy. They tried to position Cousin Faith as someone who showed up and understood Miles' passion for music, unlike Terry, and that's why he ended up cheating on her.
Thought you playing with this band was just a hobby.
Man, when your CD drops, you're going to blow up.
But that, her, him, Jail, jail. Next, we'll be traveling to the Black Panther universe. We have T'Challa.
What are you talking about? I never freeze.
He's just here for my mental health. Somehow I have to believe that there are good men out there, so I needed T'Challa here to restore my faith. Oh, a man that freezes in the presence of the woman he loves.
Did he freeze? Like an antelope in headlights.
Of course, I don't have anything bad to say about T'Challa. He's just here to sit in his rightful position at the top of this tier list. That's a black king right there. Literally. Last, we have Eric Killmonger.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit.
Shit, that make you throb right there.
I swear to God,
oh,
I was just about to say strawberry.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must.
Damn, they should have took that boy to Wakanda. He found his daddy with Panther claws in his chest, and I know that changed who he could have been.
I found my daddy with panther claws in his chest. You ain't the son of a king, you a son of a murderer.
I want to defend Eric. I want to say he was misguided and misunderstood. I understand why his heart was so cold. The fine ologist in me and even the sensible woman wants to look for any reason to redeem Eric, no matter how small. But anything that could have redeemed him went out of the window when he shot that girl. I don't know what she was to him, girlfriend, boo thing, bussy baby, cut it buddy, but they had something going on because he was kissing on her. He killed that girl. I can't make any excuses for that type of behavior, so as much as I hate it, Jail, jail. Next, we'll be traveling to the Brothers universe. First up, we have Brian.
Let's keep it real. We're single black professional men. We're the cream of the crop, right?
Brian spent about 70% of this movie hating black women.
Right now, I'm through with sisters.
Oh, here we go again.
It's a broken record.
Then he spent about 25% hating all women.
Man hate books like Waiting to Exhale. I'm gonna write a book. It's called Breathe, bitch.
Then right at the end of the movie, they attempted to redeem him. Please. Now, let's go back to him hating black women. The movie tries to justify or rather give a reason for it by showing us his relationship with his mother. We found out that he grew up with a bitter black mother who stopped showing affection towards him and his brother based on what she experienced with black men.
Give me love, mama.
Get out of my house with this nonsense.
His mama did give him a hug for about 10 years, and yeah, that's sad and all, but
Whoop-dee-doo.
I'm a compassionate person. I'm a sympathetic person. In fact, I'm an empath. But the whole my mama didn't love me till I hate all black women pipeline is tired.
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
Brian reduced black women to fake hair,
I'm tired of the fake hair.
baby daddies,
Oh, excuse me, that's my baby father.
obesity, and welfare.
The excess weight is like they're giving out government cheese sandwiches with fake hair and baby.
Obviously, his hatred was deeper than his mama. Plus, what the black women got to do with your mama not hugging you? That's something I will never understand. More than often, when a black man has a bad experience growing up with his mom, all black women become the problem. Every horrible thing that I've ever experienced in life has been at the hands of black men, and I have never gone through a period of life hating black men. I hate all men.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm cautious of all men. So Brian's storyline was tired and predictable, and it didn't move me. Of course, he then decided to turn his sights on a white woman, thinking he would get a better or different experience. But once Brian saw that women are women no matter their race, he resorted to hating all women.
You thought I'd be different from her just because I'm white?
I didn't say that.
No, sir. You're the problem. Obviously, Brian was sexually attracted to women, but I don't believe he liked them as people or companions. I'm being so serious when I say this, but I think Brian may have needed to explore his sexuality. This is not a dig. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being so for real, but I think he could have been bisexual. He had an outrageous dislike for women. Maybe that's not where he was supposed to be, and that's perfectly fine. Anyways, like I said, the movie does try to redeem him right at the end by having his mama hug him and by having him bypass a white woman to go after a black one. Please, that nigga needed therapy and to potentially explore his sexuality, and until he did that, he was going to continue to be a menace to women. One hug from his mama wasn't gonna change that. Run, bitch, run. Next we have Derek.
And if it's okay with you, can I be your husband again?
The only married man out of his friend group. I fear that if I try to go into too many details about what Derek and his wife had going on, then I would be violating all kinds of community guidelines. Plus, I'm an innocent, delicate butterfly, so I don't want to go into detail about what they had going on. I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know nothing about that lifestyle. Whatever y'all got going on, because that's not me.
So I'll just slap him and look in the material, because he was one of the main ones speaking up when Brian was coming for black women or just women in general.
You need to shut your woman ass up. Man, why I gotta shut up, Derek? I'm trying to help.
And he can't go to I'ma stick beside him, because that's a personal category, and I'm not sticking beside Derek. If you have no clue what I'm talking about and you don't know what was going on between him and his wife, the movie is on Pluto TV. Enjoy or don't. Next up we have Terry.
Hey, D, how long you know me, baby? I don't lie about my shit.
Right. What I will say is that I believe Terry had the right idea, but he was the wrong man, and I wish he would have realized that before disturbing BB's life. We have Terry, a hoe. The movie says he was a playboy, but that's code for hoe. And Terry the hoe randomly decided that after 2 months of knowing a woman that he was ready for commitment and marriage, knowing he ain't never did nothing like that before.
I'm gonna make a declaration right here, right now. From this moment forward, I'm a one-woman man.
But because of his age, he was determined to force himself into it. 28 is very young, but apparently it wasn't in this movie, because Terry, who was only about to turn 29, felt like his biological clock was ticking, and therefore he started planning to marry BB.
Yo, look, fellas, I'm about to be 29 years old in a minute. I think it's about time I went and settled down.
Everyone around him knew he was doing too much, but Terry had only him and BB fooled.
Girl, I cannot wait to make you Mrs. Terry White.
Right up until 2 weeks before the wedding, where he decided to cancel it by leaving that lady a voice message.
Look, she already heard the message. She called me 10 times today.
Now, with that being said, I don't like Terry. Can't stand Terry. BB's reaction was crazy as hell, but understandable, because you don't play with nobody's emotions like that.
I don't want you, Jackson. I want Terry.
All right, baby, just...
But like I said, Terry had the right idea. He knew that committing himself to one woman in marriage was the next steps when he was actually ready for them. So I believe that if Terry tried again maybe a few years down the line, then he would probably have potential. Now, if he waited until he was 50 or better like Quinn, then want to come into somebody's life as a old reformed hoe. Let me stop playing. I'm not saying 50 is old, but no, just imagine a man 20s, 30s, 40s just being a slut, and now he's ready to get married at 50. I'm sorry, that doesn't move me. Oh my God, I'm off topic. Now, if he waited until he was 50 or better like Quinn, then he would be sin beside Quinn. But The Brothers has no sequels. In the black movie universe, Terry remains 28. And I think if he tried again maybe in his mid-30s, then he probably would have been a decent man to somebody. So I'll say look at the material. And I promise that Terry isn't getting the lucky treatment. Shamar Moore was so fine in his day, and he knew it and acted like it, that his fineness has never really done anything for me. Last we have Jackson.
Yeah, she's one of my patients. I'm a doctor.
Probably the most decent man out of his friend group, his main thing was that he was so afraid of commitment that it was manifesting itself as nightmares, and he was going to therapy for it. Men be so afraid to stop hoeing. It can't be that serious. Anyways, let me be for real. I feel like we got to see Jackson work through his issues. The fact that he was a black man willingly getting help and going to therapy does deserve a few cookies. And like I said, we got to see Jackson progress. He met a woman that made him a little less afraid of commitment, and he was head over heels for her until he found out that she previously dated his daddy.
Went out on a few dates, but we did not have sex, okay?
You didn't have sex?
No.
Did you kiss him?
Jackson was upset at first, and he allowed pride and ego and his fear of commitment to cause him to end things with Denise. And you know what? I don't fault Jackson at all. If I found out a man that I fell in love with had previously dated my mama, I need therapy for it. I don't think I would be okay. But we got to see Jackson work through it, and he got it right in the end. I would say he's a good man, Savannah. Last but not least, we'll be traveling to the thin line between love and hate universe. We have Darnell.
Why you keep giving these women my phone number?
Mom, if they call you bugging you gonna tell them go straight to hell.
We have Darnell, a grown man who made a bet with his homeboys, one of them being Bobby Brown, so you already knew some fuckery is about to go on. But we have Darnell, a grown man who made a bet that he would have relations with a lady named Brandy, who was minding her business before he entered her life.
I'ma hit that. You know I am. And when I hit it, first thing I'ma do is call you.
Darnell, a grown man who was already in love with his childhood friend.
Hold on, listen. I mean, it don't mean nothing to me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
So Brandy was just a game to him. He never really wanted her. He just wanted to prove to his homeboys that he could get her. Darnell chased Brandy. He went after Brandy. He bothered Brandy when he could have left that lady alone. Brandy told Darnell she had trust issues. He still proceeded to mess with her.
Horses don't disappoint you. People always disappoint you. Especially men. Especially men. No, I don't trust you. Please.
Brandy looked Darnell in his eyes and told him she was scared.
I'm scared too. Okay? I'm scared. You can see it in my eyes.
Brandy looked Darnell in his eyes and asked him if he had feelings for someone else.
I can't even think of nobody since I met you. I don't feelings. What kind?
Brandy looked Darnell in his eyes and told him that she couldn't be hurt again and that it wouldn't be good.
You would think that I would hurt you. It just wouldn't be good. I'm not trying to hurt you, Bang. Now look, I'm not.
But still, Darnell proceeded to play in that lady's face, knowing that he was already in love with somebody else and knowing that he only wanted one thing from her. Then to seal the deal, he told that clearly unstable lady that he loved her just so he could get that one thing.
Do you love me?
I love you.
But wait, there's more.
Then, quickly afterwards, he hopped on her phone to brag about it to his homeboy.
It was good, too. Oh, man, baby. Oh, look, I'll explain how she work it later.
Oh, that nigga deserved everything he got. Jail. Jail.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
Like I said in the last video I did in this universe, I normally be here at the end for the outro to sit and talk with y'all, but the black movie universe drains me. It takes the life out of me. A lot of these movies were just for entertainment growing up. I never really paid that close attention, never really just absorbed the plot line that crazy. But when I do these, I have to watch the movie and I have to watch these men's actions and I have to really study them to determine where they're going to lie on the tier list. And it's a lot for the mental. It's a lot for the mental.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really.